Hello class 10th. So today we are starting the civics portion of your history and civics. We have already finished this term syllabus of history with the 5 chapters. Now we are going to start the lesson number 1 of civics, that is the Union Parliament, and I am making the 2 part of this chapter. So this is the part 1 of the series. So before we'll start the chapter, you should know that we are having a dual government setup in our country, that is called the federal setup. That means we have the division of power between the central and the state government. So central government is basically having the 3 pillars. So there is a question that who is ruling at the center right now? So you have to answer me whenever we are having Zoom class. And you also answer me that who is the Prime Minister. The reason was that you are seeing him many times in your kind of announcement for the COVID. So central government, it is basically having 3 pillars: legislative, executive and judiciary. You have read already that in the 8th class. Legislative are the law making body. So legislative includes of the people who make law. So it includes of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha at the central level. Executive who used to execute these laws. It includes of president, vice president and civil servants. And judiciary who used to punish the lawbreakers. So it includes of Supreme Court, High Court, whereas the subordinate courts. So these are the 3 pillars of any democratic setup or the central government, which basically allow the smooth running of the government and provide happiness to its citizens. Now what is legislature? So legislatures are the law making body. So legislatures are basically divided into 2 parts, as power of the government or power in our country is divided into dual format, central and the state government. So at the central level, the legislatures were the parliament, which includes of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha and the president. So these 3 form the parliament, and these 3 were responsible for passing of any law. Whereas in the state level, the legislatures were we can say the Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad, which is legislative assembly and legislative council. So this is basically the legislature set up at the central level and the state level. And in this chapter we will read about the Union Parliament. That means whenever the word union comes, we are talking about the central government. Now first we should know what are the MPs and what are the MLAs. So MPs are the member of parliament. That means जो आपकी central government है, जिसमें आपके लोक सभा है, राज्य सभा है, उसके जो members होंगे वो आपके MP होंगे, member of parliament होंगे, that related to central government. जबकि आपके जो MLA होते हैं, they are the member of legislative assemblies, and legislative assemblies आपकी state की होती है, जो आपकी विधान सभा, विधान परिषद होती है. So if I will say that who holds more power, definitely MPs, because they are at the central level. So I think it is sorted out that who are MPs and who are MLAs. Now the Parliament House of New Delhi. You all have seen the Parliament House outside view. So Parliament House, this construction is done in 1921, started in 1921, and it ended all the construction done in 1927. The architects were Sir Edwin Lutyens and Sir Herbert Baker. So these are the 2 British architects who has basically done the designing of this building, which is in New Delhi. Now what basically Parliament comprises of? The question comes, what basically the Parliament comprises of? The Parliament comprises of Lok Sabha, which is called the lower house. It comprises of Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house, whereas the president. So these 3, they form the part of Parliament. And this is a new parliament building design which was been done by architect Bimal Patel, and it is also being constructed in New Delhi. So this is the new building design, and now the construction will start. Okay, so first we will read what point we are reading from your book. Whatever I am providing in the PPT, you have to make notes of that, and that will only come in exam. So first is the federal setup. What is the federal setup? The Constitution of India, you know that Constitution of India is borrowed from the 60 countries, and various good things from the various countries we have kept in our Constitution. So it has provided us the freedom to choose our own government. So Constitution of India has established a federal setup of the government in the country, and federal setup involves the dual government. If the question comes, what do you understand by the federal setup? So it speaks that federal setup talks about the dual government, that is the national government and the government of the component state. that is the government between the central and the state government. Division of powers as legislative, executive, judiciary within the central and state government. We can say the decentralization of the power. Supremacy of constitution as both central and the state government derive their power from it. That means whenever the conflict happened between the central and the state government, at the time they have to look after over the constitution. That means nobody is above the constitution, or everybody has to follow the instructions written in the constitution. So that constitution had the supremacy. Nobody can put forward the rules according to themselves. Everybody has to follow the rules written in the constitution. Supreme Court act as a guardian or the final interpreter of the constitution. So maybe sometimes some conflict arise between the central government and the state government over the writings which is written in the constitution. At that time, who used to interpret the constitution? It was Supreme Court. Who used to act as a guardian of constitution, that if the government is doing something against the constitution, who will punish the government? It is the Supreme Court. So that is basically the federal feature of the Indian constitution. Now first of all, we'll read about the Lok Sabha. So whatever we are reading in Lok Sabha, that I am telling you in this video. So first of all, we'll read the composition of the Lok Sabha. Composition का मतलब होता है कि लोक सभा basically है क्या? So Lok Sabha is regarded as lower house of the parliament or house of people. Why it is called the lower house? Because the direct election happens for the Lok Sabha. ठीक है, लोकसभा के लिए डायरेक्ट इलेक्शन होता है, इनडायरेक्ट इलेक्शन नहीं होता है. लोकसभा में हम लोग जाकर के, इफ यू आर अबव द 18 years, you are eligible to vote, you will go and vote for your government. So that's why it is called the Lok Sabha, which is the house of the people. It includes a member and a speaker. So Lok Sabha basically includes of number of members and one speaker who is the presiding officer. The term period of Lok Sabha is of 5 years. That means for 5 years Lok Sabha is appointed, and after that 5 years there will be a re-election. That's why it is called a temporary house. It is not a permanent house. Now what is the composition of Lok Sabha? What it comprises of? Lok Sabha, it includes of the members. So the present strength of Lok Sabha, or the maximum strength of the Lok Sabha is presently 545, which maximum can go to 552. That means Lok Sabha की जो maximum strength है वो आपकी 552 हो सकती है, उससे ज़्यादा members नहीं हो सकते हैं. और presently जो लोक सभा की strength है वो 545 है. Out of that 545, 2 members are nominated members, which are nominated by the president and they belongs to the Anglo-Indian community. तो जो आपकी 2 मेंबर्स हैं, जो एंग्लो इंडियन कम्युनिटी के मेंबर्स हैं, वो 2 मेंबर्स आपकी वो सीट कोई भी इलेक्शन से नहीं किया जाएगा. दैट वाज अपॉइंटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. सो लोकसभा बेसिकली कंप्राइजेस ऑफ 545 मेंबर्स, आउट ऑफ विच 2 आर द नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर्स हु बिलोंग टू द एंग्लो इंडियन कम्युनिटी. Now what are the qualifications required to get appointed as the member of the Lok Sabha? First of all, you must be a citizen of India. You should not less than 25 years of age. आपकी एज 25 से कम नहीं होनी चाहिए. You should be mentally sound. आपका दिमाग सही होना चाहिए. You should not be insolvent. Insolvent का मतलब होता है कि आपके ऊपर कोई भी कर्जा ना हो. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पॉलिटिक्स ज्वाइन ही कर्जा उतारने के लिए कर रहे हैं. तो you should not be insolvent. You should not hold office of profit under the government. So hold office of profit का मतलब होता है कि जब आपको इलेक्शन में खड़ा होना है तो अगर आप कोई सरकारी जॉब कर रहे हैं आपको वो छोड़ना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, you can't hold the 2 office together. So that was basically qualification which is required to get appointed as a MP of the Lok Sabha. Now we will read a few important terms which can come in exam. First is oath or affirmation by the members. So oath क्या होती है? You have already seen in your school also when we can say the house captains were appointed. So in the sports day they used to take the oath. ठीक है, शपथ लेते हैं. तो जो आपकी लोकसभा की oath होती है, who manages that oath? Who used to administer that oath? So every member of the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, when they get appointed, they used to take the oath, which was taking seat on the particular appointment. So that oath was administered by the president. So जो लोकसभा राज्यसभा के MPs आपके oath लेते हैं, वो oath किसके सामने लेते हैं या उनको वो oath दिलाता कौन है? The President of India. So if the question comes that who administered the oath of the MPs of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the answer will be President. Now second is the vacation of seat. When the seat of both the houses remain vacant, कब दोनों हाउस लाइक में लोकसभा और राज्यसभा की सीटें वेकेंट रहती है, खाली रहती है. So there were few conditions when the seat remain vacant. First, if a member resign his seat by writing to the speaker or the chairman, if member himself resign at the time the seat remain vacant. Secondly, if a member without the permission of the house absent for the meeting for 60 days, अगर 60 दिन से ज़्यादा कोई मेंबर आपका एब्सेंट रहता है लोकसभा आपके लोकसभा की मीटिंग्स को अटेंड करने में, तो ही वॉज बीन रिगार्डेड एज डिसक्वालिफाइड एंड हिज सीट बिकेम वेकेंट. और इफ एनी केस अ पर्सन एक्सपायर्ड, ही इज नॉट वेल, ठीक है, सॉरी expired at that case, or if a member became subject of law of disqualification, maybe he committed some crime, at that case also the seat remain vacant of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now what is the quorum of the house? That is a very important term, quorum of both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So quorum of the house is the minimum number of members required to present in the house to carry forward the proceeding of the house. Now one point is there that those who are MPs of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they are basically MP appointed from a particular place. Like we are having the 5 Lok Sabha seats in Uttarakhand. So if there was a MP who is appointed as MP of Lok Sabha, he will be appointed as an MP from a particular place. He have a constituency. So such as like MP is appointed of Lok Sabha from the Haridwar seat. So he have a responsibility for that area also. उसकी responsibility अपने area के लिए भी है, ठीक है. So we have 3 sessions. That means the whole year the proceedings and other things in the Lok Sabha keep going on, the meetings going on. So for if the whole year this person will remain in the Parliament House, in the Lok Sabha House, then how come he can look after the responsibilities for his area? So in that way there was made the provision that obviously all the 545 members, they are not were able to get present all together at the house. So they decided that ठीक है, अगर 1/10 member 545 का 1/10 जो member है वो भी present होंगे तो proceeding हम start कर देंगे, ठीक है. तो quorum क्या है, जो minimum number of strength चाहिए होती है किसी भी house की proceeding को चालू करने के लिए, उसे हम कहते हैं quorum, और वो कितना है 1/10 of the total number of members. That is the quorum. Understood? Like if I'll give you example of your class, that if I came your class to teach you, and there were few number of students were there, so I will not say that oh no I will not teach. Yeah, if one student is there then I will not teach, but I will say okay fine, there is a strength of 30 children and 15 are present, fine. So 15 is the strength, below that I will not teach, but if 15 were there I will teach. So the minimum number of members, children required to me that I can start my teaching, that is basically the quorum in the Lok Sabha house or the Rajya Sabha house. I hope you understood. Now the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Speaker क्या होता है? Speaker presiding officer होता है. Like in your class, to manage your discipline, your teacher is here who was a person, spokesperson, who is to hear you, who used to decide the matters for you. That is the speaker in the Lok Sabha. So he is the chief presiding officer of the Lok Sabha, who look after the proceedings of the house, who give opportunity for the MPs to speak and then ask the questions and the counter question, then come to the conclusion. So at the present time the Lok Sabha speaker is Om Birla. Or if the question comes who is the presiding officer of Lok Sabha, so that is the speaker, and presently it is Om Birla, and we are having 17th Lok Sabha. Now what are the power and function of a speaker? Speaker basically preside over the meetings of all the houses. All the speeches are addressed to the chair. That means if any of the MP want to speak something, so he will say, Speaker sir, Speaker madam, I want to ask this question. They will not say, oh I want to ask question to Modi ji, give answer. They will say, Speaker sir, I want to ask question to the Modi ji or the government, can you please provide me permission? So whenever a MP has to speak in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha house, specifically Lok Sabha, they have to ask from the speaker. If a question arises whether a bill is a money bill or not a money bill, as 3 kind of bills are there. First is money bill, okay? Then we can have a non-money bill, which is called the normal way, and the ordinary money bill and the ordinary bill. So money bill आपका जो finances matter पे होता है, ordinary bill जो normal ways में होता है. So if a question arises कि whether a bill is a money bill or not, then the decision of the speaker shall be final. When the vote for and against were equal, like there were voting happened in the Lok Sabha, that who are against a decision, who are for the decision, and the voting happened and the vote come 50-50 from both the sides. So at that time the speaker can cast his vote. Other than that he will not cast his vote. ठीक है, तो जब 50-50 का कंडीशन है तब स्पीकर आपका वोट करेगा, so that the decision should be made. Speaker maintain a discipline in the house, has the presiding order, and in case of disorder he can adjourn the house. Adjourn का मतलब होता है कुछ टाइम के लिए स्थगित कर देना, ठीक है, like 2 days or sometime 2 hours, 3 hours. So if he founding that discipline was not in the house. If a word used in debate is indecent, like if the debate is going on between the ruling party and the other party was not in the power, and they were using indecent word, they were abusing, at that case the speaker has the power to warn the particular member, and if the member is again and again using, he can just put that person out of the Lok Sabha house as well, and also ask him to delete the word from the proceeding. Speaker communicate the final decision of the house. So whatever is the final decision, that will be communicated from him. Speaker allow the admission of the strangers and press people to the galleries of the parliament. So if the press has to come to the galleries of parliament, they have to seek the permission of the speaker, and he is the only person who allowed that. Speaker is the ex officio chairman of committees of the house. So Lok Sabha used to appoint various committees like the law committees and the finance committee. So that committee head was basically the speaker. Speaker decision is the final in case of anti defecation law. Anti defecation मतलब होता है कि जब किसी भी you have read in this, defecation is basically दल बदल बोलेंगे. That means giving up the membership of one party and joining the another party for getting the benefit. So if this charge was on any MP, the final decision in that case was taken by the speaker. Speaker presides over the joint sitting of both the houses of the parliament if there is a case of the bill which has to be decided by both the houses and no decision is coming. So if speaker want to save the time of both the houses, so he is the person who can call the joint sitting of both the houses. Speaker decide the admissibility of questions and all the resolution. If any MP want to ask any question, if speaker thought that this question is not right, he can just stop that MP of speaking that. So these are the powers and function of speaker. So you can see here during a joint session, it was a kind of hustle for the speaker to handle because everybody is shouting. Like Lok Sabha members are also shouting, Rajya Sabha's members also shouting, and there is only one person speaker who used to create the discipline in the Lok Sabha house. So you have seen people are fighting. Sometimes they used to pull out the chair and throw the chairs over each other. So this also happens. Now we will read the Lok Sabha proceedings. See here, this is the Lok Sabha house, and the person who's sitting at the between, that person is basically the speaker. Now important term, sessions. It is important term. Sessions is basically the period of the time between the meetings of the parliament. So there are basically 3 sessions. Session का मतलब होता है like आपका भी session होता है इस time से इस time तक. So the meetings of the houses of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha were regarded as sessions. So we have basically 3 sessions of the parliament. The budget session which goes from February to March. Second is the monsoon session which goes from July to September, and the winter session which goes from November to December. So MPs, they have a compulsion that they have to attend any 2 sessions. It is not compulsory for them to attend all the 3 sessions, but minimum 2 sessions they have to attend. Okay? Because I have already told you they are the MPs from a particular place, so they have a responsibility for that area also. So that's why they have given regulation that you have to attend any 2 sessions. Okay? एंड दैट्स वाई देर इज कोरम कि भाई सारे तो एक साथ नहीं आ सकते हैं, तो मिनिमम स्ट्रेंथ रख देते हैं, जो 1/10 है वो आ जाएंगे तो हम प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट कर देंगे, लॉ के ऊपर बात करना स्टार्ट कर देंगे. तो दीज आर दी सेशंस. द सेकंड टर्म इज द क्वेश्चन आवर और इंटरप्रिटेशन. सो जब भी आपकी लोकसभा की प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट होती है, राज्यसभा की प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट होती है, तो मान लो 9 बजे आपकी प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट हो रही है. So the first hour, that means 9 to 10, that first hour which is allotted for asking the questions related to the government or various issue, that hour is regarded as the question hour. So the first hour of the sitting of both the houses of the parliament is allotted for asking questions related to various matter, that is called the question hour. Why this hour is decided as question hour? Because in parliament there were discussion over the various law happens. So whenever like it is the same, like when I'm teaching about history and you put forward the question of biology to me, at that time there was a kind of, we can say, a hurdle over the teaching. The teaching will not go smooth. So that so that's why they decided that भाई बिल की प्रोसीडिंग के टाइम पे जब बिल पे डिस्कशन चल रहा है तो कोई फालतू की क्वेश्चन आप पूछे, तो पहले का जो आर होता है डिसाइड करते हैं कि भाई आपको जो पूछना है आप उस फर्स्ट आर में क्वेश्चन पूछ लीजिए सरकार से या किसी से भी. So the first hour of both the houses sitting which is allotted for asking the questions of any questions related to any matter, that is called the question hour. Now there was one more important term, that is called the adjournment motion. What is the adjournment motion? Adjournment motion is basically a proposal by any of the MP of the parliament to keep aside all other business and take up a definite matter of urgent importance. That is called adjournment motion. That means, simple language, if I'll explain you, it is basically a proposal which is put forward by any MP before the parliament when the proceeding or when the reading of the law is going on. So they put forward a proposal to the speaker, and that proposal is related to the matter which is having a national importance. So like अगर आपकी किसी फाइनेंस बिल पे बातचीत चल रही, डिस्कशन चल रहा है, लेकिन किसी एक एमपी को लगता है कि अभी देश में कोई ऐसी चीज घटित हुई है, कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट हुआ है जिसके बारे में डिस्कस करना ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो वो उस प्रपोजल को स्पीकर को देता है. इफ स्पीकर थॉट दैट ओके दिस इज द मैटर which have to be discussed, then the motion is passed, proposal is passed, that is called the adjournment motion. That means please adjourn the house by the time for few minutes or few hours for few time, so that there is a matter which should be discussed here, that is of a national importance. ठीक है, जैसे आपका कहीं रेलवे एक्सीडेंट हो गया, नेचुरल कैलेमिटी हो गया, कम्युनल राइट्स हो गए, टेररिस्ट अटैक हो गया, तो जो मैटर नेशनल इंपॉर्टेंस का होता है, जिसका डिस्कशन होना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, उस टाइम पे उस मैटर को लेके आना, उसको डिस्कस करना, क्या होता है, आपका एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन होता है. It is a proposal which is being put forward by any of the MP of both the houses when they thought that there is a matter which should be discussed, which is having a national importance and which is more important than the law. At that time, the speaker, they pass the adjournment motion and they adjourn the proceeding going on of the particular house, and they start discussing over this important matter. I hope you understood. Now what is censure motion and no confidence motion? Censure motion is moved against a group of ministers or individual ministers, while no confidence motion passed against the government. तो नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन मतलब होता है भाई हमें सरकार पे कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है, आप प्रूव कीजिए कि आपने जितने एमपीज के साथ गवर्नमेंट बनाई है. तो एक स्ट्रेंथ होती है, जैसे 545 मेंबर्स आपके लोकसभा के हैं, तो उसमें स्ट्रेंथ होती है कि 300 जो मेंबर्स होंगे, इफ यू आर हैविंग 3, इफ यू वांट द 300 सीट, देन ओनली यू कैन फॉर्म द गवर्नमेंट. सो मान लो मोदी जी ने 300 जो आपके स्पीकर थे, जितनी आपकी जो एमपी थे, उनके साथ गवर्नमेंट बनाई. बट समहाउ द opposition party, they thought कि भाई all the 300 MPs are not with him now, so they used to give a proposal of no confidence, that we are not having confidence in the government, that they are having all the MPs with them. So then the Modi ji or the person, they have to prove that, they have to give the floor test that yes they are with us, we are having 300 seat with us and we are part of government. ठीक है, तो किसी इंडिविजुअल मिनिस्टर के खिलाफ अगर कोई मोशन पास होता है, मे बी बिकॉज ही डिड सम क्राइम, ही वाज इंडल्ज इन एनी ऑफ द अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटी, तो उसे हम सेंश्योर मोशन बोलेंगे. बट जब पूरी सरकार के ऊपर कोई क्वेश्चन आता है इस तरीके का, उसको हम नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन बोलते हैं. So these are the three pictures of PM, President and Vice President. You know the Prime Minister is Narendra Modi, your President is Ramnath Kovind, and your Vice President is Venkaiah Naidu. Now the exclusive powers of Lok Sabha, a money bill can only introduce in the Lok Sabha. There are two bills, money bill and ordinary bill. So जो money bill होता है, which is related to the finance, that can only be introduced only in Lok Sabha as it controls the finance of the country. तो फाइनेंस का जो मैटर होता है वो आपका गवर्नमेंट संभालती है, और जो गवर्नमेंट होती है वो लोकसभा से ही बनती है. इसीलिए द मनी पावर और मनी बिल इंट्रोडक्शन पावर कम्स टू द लोकसभा. द मनी बिल व्हेन पास्ड फ्रॉम लोकसभा टू राज्यसभा, इट वाज बीन पास्ड लाइक इट व्हेन इट वाज पास्ड फ्रॉम लोकसभा, इट वाज गिवन टू द राज्यसभा. बट इट इज अप टू द लोकसभा वेदर दे विल एक्सेप्ट द रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ राज्यसभा और नॉट. ये लोकसभा के ऊपर होता है कि वो राज्यसभा में जो 14 दिन में रिकमेंडेशन दिया उसको ले या ना ले. ठीक है, so that is also the power that whenever they are giving they passed a bill, they give to Rajya Sabha, so Rajya Sabha has to return within the 14 days and give it recommendation. It is up to the Lok Sabha whether to accept it or not. Lok Sabha hold power to may accept or reject the recommendation of Rajya Sabha. The Union Council of Minister is collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. That means जो गवर्नमेंट आपकी बनती है, जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में सरकार आपकी बनती है, वो आपकी लोकसभा के यूनियन मिनिस्टर से बनती है. नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन अगेंस्ट द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर कैन मूव ओनली इन लोकसभा. नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन भी आपका लोकसभा में ही पास होता है, और एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन भी आपका लोकसभा में ही पास होता है. So these are the exclusive powers of the Sabha. Now there are few important questions which I have made from this slide. Please note down these questions and try to find out the answers. If not, then you can ask me. Okay? Thank you so much, class.